Hello, it is Anika from Living for Later, and I was having a discussion with my 16-year-old daughter, and I had to just admit to her, I was like, because we were having an interesting moment of discussion. I had to let her know, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to confess to you. There's a lot of times that I have no clue what I'm doing. I have no clue how to respond to you. And that was such a humbling moment for me because as my oldest child, a lot of the different things that we are encountering with her, it's like uncharted territory. And I had to just admit to her as we are just, navigating through the teenage years that I may not always have the proper response, but I always have her best interest at heart. And I let her know that even though there's a lot of times that I may not have a clue in terms of what I am doing, she can rest assured in knowing that I am trying my best to remain connected to the one who does. And that just brings me to this main point of this video that parenting is truly not for the faint of heart. Whether it's an infant that won't go to sleep or a 16-year-old that, thinks that they know it all and they're trying to navigate through this interesting season called teenage years, and you're there as the parent trying to hold on but let go at the same time. It's, parenting can be the real deal. And the longer I go with this parenting thing, the more I realize that I have to have such an utter dependence on God. I have to be willing to say, you know what? You don't have it all figured out, Anika. And you have to stay in a place of just seeking the face of the Father to receive wisdom, to know how to rear these blessings that He's given you, even when they're not acting like blessings, and even when you don't feel like they are blessings, right? But the truth still remains that they are blessings that God has given me. And for me to maintain that proper mindset, I have to remain connected to Him and to again be honest with my children in the process to say, you know what, mom does not have all the answers, dad does not have all the answers, and there are times where we are literally going to stumble through this and we are going to make mistakes, and we perhaps are going to say things that we shouldn't because we are angry or we're upset. But again, after it's all said and done and all the sorries are given, right, we go back and we plug into the Lord. And it's just been such a humbling season for me, just quite honestly, because I am just experiencing some things that I never thought that I would experience on this parenting journey. I think sometimes we feel like we safeguard ourselves. Like, I have devotions, I pray, I share the word of God with you, but just realizing that our children, their spiritual journey is still their own. Yes, we are called to pour in the word of God into them, but ultimately it has to be their decision. And it takes such wisdom from the Lord to really know, again, how to continue to pour into them when they reach a certain age, but at the same time have enough wisdom to step back and say, you know what, you're not getting in to heaven on my coattail. Like, that's just not how it works. This is about your personal relationship with the Lord. And it's just such an awkward season for me, just quite honestly, because when you see your children begin to ask like very honest questions that reflect their doubts, and you not just losing it and say, I just believe in Jesus because this is what I've taught you, but making the space for them to ask those honest questions, making the space for them to make those mistakes, and to be there to extend mercy and to extend grace, the same mercy and grace that the Father has given you and that I have personally received. And it's just been just so interesting, but again, it's just reminding me of just my need to cling to Jesus like never before and to seek His face just for wisdom. So I just want to encourage all the parents that are out there, continue to pour truth into your children, but at the same time step back long enough to give them space to embrace that truth. And I don't feel like there's a set formula to that, because each child is different, and it takes just really seeking the face of the Father to know what that should look like each season and for that specific child. So there's no way around it. I feel like the heart of this channel is just this idea of constantly seeking the face of the Father and connecting to him, and just recognizing that there is a bigger picture, that we are living for later. And that theme plays out in every area of my life, including parenting. So again, I just want to encourage those who are there and, just trying to rear godly children, and perhaps you're in a place where there's a bit of a hiccup. Cling to Jesus. Cling to Jesus like never before, and believe that the truth that you've poured into your children, that it will come back, and believe that you're doing the best thing by just continuously pouring truth into your children, and just trust the Lord that they will make the decision to serve him, not based on just what you have said, but based on just a personal experience with him. Our job is to lay the foundation, and then to just allow them to just come into that place of salvation on their own. So, all right, you be blessed.